Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Call all Yahweh. Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Kahawadash. Of course, once again, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations. Also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. Once again, pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. All right. So what we have today, this is Naaman, of course, from the DC camp, branch of Great Millstone. Back for another video. What we have today is, well, you're seeing it and hearing it more often, as we've always told you. In times of economic instability, you're going to see more and more of this. And there's a whole history in this country going way back that proves this. So you have to ask yourself, well, what has really changed? Answer, really nothing. All right? Nothing. These people are the same racist pieces of shit. In this video, this is once again from African diaspora, Israelite diaspora, but hey, it's his channel. As it says, go that black again, racist caught referring to us as things and says they all feel like he does. Of course, we've always known that. These people are great actors at the end of the day. That's their nature. All right, they're not fooling anyone. That has any type of sense and it's been around a while. But let's go ahead and roll the video.
Diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
Somewhere in a park in America, an anti-black white man wanted to express his unseasoned opinion about black children. Check it out.
That's the truth, and you know it. The vast majority of people here are just afraid to say
He's fine.
Hey, racist piece of shit!
He's a child.
Hey, I
didn't say anything to the thing.
We don't need to.
He's not a thing.
Go away. They're not a race.
You're a race.
The race is from Eurasia. Mankind is from Africa.
Come on, let's get your shoes.
You're a disgrace to society.
Walk away.
No.
Walk away.
I try to keep it clean. Can you imagine what this is going to be like once it's all taken over by that? Just a big ghetto.
You're still.
Just a big ghetto.
You'll
be. It won't matter. We'll
I don't even have words. I don't even know what to say about your kind.
My kind is all over. They're just afraid to say stuff.
Well, maybe they should be afraid.
No.
What did it say? My kind is all over. They're just afraid to say so. And he's got a point, because that in itself, word of the week for our camp was recompense. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. And she's going to tell you later, but I'm going to tell you now. You're the ones that brought us here. And you have this unnerving knack wherever we are. You want to come and invade. They call it now gentrification. All right. That's why this man has to be, and you understand now why several scriptures in the Bible say about Edom, he has to go. He's going in the book of Obadiah in and of itself. All right. Verse 18, he's going to be eradicated. The Bible dictionary tells you that. Edom is the only neighbor of Israelites that's going to be shown no mercy. And you understand why. All right. These people are just demonic. they are the wicked. All right. There's no way. I mean, you cannot see, and yet you still have people. There was a video that I was watching today where I don't know if she's an actual Hamite or not, but from over there, complaining about our support of Carmela Anthony. You know, she finds it disgusting that we're celebrating the murder of, you know, in her words, a white boy. And from that, they're saying, and I was watching the video, and the person responding to that was like, you know what? Now we see why you're like that over there. How you act towards, you know, cooning. And they constantly want to talk about shit. Even when they come over here, it's like, well, you don't have the history that we have with them over here. You know, won't you handle your business over where you're from? That's any of these immigrants. If you're so smart, all right, if you're so righteous, why don't you fix your own shit? But I don't want to get too far off of this, you know. But you got to understand, this Edomite / white supremacy permeates the whole earth. He's got to go. There is no... As Hebrews 12 and 16 and 17 verse tells you, there is no redemptive qualities in this so-called white man. There's no chance for repentance for him. This is what, and then you go to Romans 9th chapter, down starting around 19, it tells you that, you know, this is what he was made for. And there are other scriptures.
Come on, you guys.
Obviously.
So as you saw and heard him express there, he called the little child a thing. Called the black child a thing. And of course you heard the ladies who were recording take him to task and said, you're trash, you're filth, and this, that, and the other. And he kept on doubling down, you know, basically saying, you know, the more of them that move into the neighborhoods, it's going to get dangerous. And basically, I guess, alluding to that black people weren't human, although he said in Africa they're mankind. So he was just kind of just speaking all over the place. But, you know, he said something that was very telling. He said, oh, there's a lot more people like me. They're just afraid to say it. Mm-hmm. And he's right. There's a lot of people like that think the way he does, but they don't want to say nothing right because they won't lose their job or nothing like that. So they let people like him say it. But that also really gets me to thinking. Those people who don't want to say anything, they working in restaurants where you going and sitting down and ordering something to eat. They working in the hospitals. They're working in the schools. They're even...
Yeah, and the thing about it, we focus so much on the Klan being in the police departments, anything to do with law enforcement, but all these other fields that, medical, for example, that's another big thing. In all avenues of society, that's where they are. All right, so we got to get out of here, and you pray. In fact, let me get this real quick. You got to have this mindset. We bring this out often at camp. You got to have this mindset. Knowing what I just said, and it goes in the Second Peter 3rd chapter too. Why would you want to? Haven't they proven to you enough that they're not going to allow you to be on their level, to allow you to have any peace? This is Isaiah 51 and 14. The captive exile hasteneth that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit. This is the pit. This system is a pit. All right, nor that his bread should fail. And they're going to ensure that our bread fails. This is all included in the curse. They were set up over us. You know, Psalms 17 and 13. He is that sword. He is the instrument of the Most High for our punishment. All right. for our, hopefully, correction, being corrected. All right, let's go back to the video.
And in the church, but they don't want to say nothing. But are they doing something to you, to your food, and you don't know about it because they hate you? Because what he was saying was definitely hate. Very hateful. But that's how they feel. But as I said too, they talking about they don't want to be around us. Well, you should have told that to your great-great-grandpappy and them when they was making us be around them on plantations and stuff. See?
Yeah, and I said earlier, just a few moments ago about the gentrification. Every time we try to do for ourselves to get away from them, sabotage. Still goes on today, sabotage. You gotta ask yourself, what kind of a people that would have others in subjection to them, and at the same time they are envious, so envious, jealous too. Now there's a distinction between one, we use jealousy and envy, because one, yeah, you see somebody in a nice car and you say, damn man, I wish I had that. Oh God. The other one, now you take action towards that person. You start looking for ways to take action against them, to hold them back, or you understand what I'm saying? I use the example, one is the action word. And it gets kind of confusing because they're almost interchangeable in a way. But in any case, this is what they have done. They just cannot, nor will not, leave us the fuck alone. So they're going to have to be made to, and that's where the Lord's coming back. All right. And when it talks about in Isaiah 11, and what he does, and an ensign is going to be raised against him. But this is, remember I mentioned the curses. This is Deuteronomy 28:49. It says, the Most High, wait a minute, I'm as far as 48. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee. Why? Because we, in the first 14 verses of this chapter, Deuteronomy 28, Moses is telling our people, hey, you agree to adhere to the law, statutes, commandments. And the first 14 verses are, these are all the blessings that will come upon you if you did so. And 15 tells you, if you don't, then all these curses. And that's from 16 to 68. And guess what? That's what we're under. Therefore shalt thou, this is verse 48, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. He shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. And all you have to do, I don't know why I'm reading it there, but got carried away there. But we were at 48, 49. All right, all these clues that it gives you. But yeah, we have to go to this devil for everything. That's how it was set up. It tells you here, right here. Who else is that? Now, when you look up, as in yoke. In fact, let me do this. And I went so far into the video, but this is the copyright. Slocky for this, but hey, you never know. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. What I'm doing. Fair uses are used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So there you go. I'm not, I'm just using someone else's work here as a teaching instrument. All right, but here it is. Let's see. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed it. Let's look at that yoke of iron. All right. Yoke. Let's see what that pulls up. Let's go to images. What was that used for? Iron collar, right? Got your oxen there. Let's try it this way. Yoke. Whoops. Now let's try images. There you go. Look at here. Look at there. Who do you see? Look at here. You saw the oxen earlier. Guess what? They had them for us. Look at that. Look at there.